Yeah, the YouTubers can't see me. There we go. There we go. All right, we got the YouTubers. We got the YouTubers back. Uh, back to Jay or Big J Clark. Good afternoon. Um, Regina Denson Griffin. Good afternoon. I don't know why I broke it up like that. Uh, Dwayne Larkin. Good afternoon. Yeah. Paul Cunningham. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to at least one person from YouTube say hi, just so that I can see that you guys can see me. Just so that I can see somebody from YouTube. Just let me know it's all good, and then we'll get started with the show. Bonita says good afternoon. Jason says afternoon. Good. There we go. We on with the YouTube people. Scott. Good afternoon. All right. Sorry about that. I told you I've been having some technical difficulties. I don't. Everything just went crazy for a minute. Erica Hummins says hi. A few days ago, and I just noticed that the YouTube people couldn't see me. Uh, hey, E-Man, my Kiki Palmer voice. That's not a good voice. Anthony, good afternoon. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. A few years ago, a couple years ago, a Cincinnati police officer, this happened in April of 2020, was caught on body camera. Apparently, this is the way it went down. The body camera footage. Jackson can be heard calling Officer David Dozier some names and challenging him to a physical fight. So you see this? Uh, Dozier is heard asking Jackson. He says, "Yeah, I see it. That's a taser." Dozier says, "I light you up. I light you up." Jackson says, "You in the wrong." All right. During the drive, Dozier reported on his radio that while in the back seat, Jackson put his handcuffs to the front of his body, freed himself from the lap bar, and spit on him. Says he just opened up his partition and spit. So if I got spit on me, you know what's going to happen. That's when Dozier pulled over his cruiser and stopped. Body camera video then shows Dozier deploying his taser twice. The video shows Jackson was handcuffed during the entire encounter. He says, "All right, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you, cuz." And that's what he was saying while he was being stunned. And he said, "Why you still doing it?" I said, "I got you." Another cop arrived on the scene. He's still going. Tell him to stop. The responding officer replied, telling Dozier, "All right, stop, stop, stop." Sampson told me that he thought to this day Officer Dozier would still be hitting the button if it wasn't for the female officer who came up and told him to stop. Said he doesn't have any, this is his attorney, he doesn't have any broken ribs or broken bones or anything, but his rights were violated. Dan Hills released a statement. He says the criminal repeatedly called our African-American officer the N-word, threatened to assault him, and said he would urinate on the grave of the officer's mother and on the face of the officer's daughter. That's kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh. But that sounds like something I would say. That sounds like something I would say. Our officer just lost his brother to a murder the month before this incident. Police officers are people too, and statements like those made by this criminal are vicious. It's supposed to be vicious. That's why you say something like that, to be vicious. You're arresting me. I don't want to be arrested, even if I committed a crime. So I'm mad at you. So I'm going to say some hurtful, hopefully hurtful things to you. Get under your skin. That's the way, that's the way that goes. Dan Hills continues. The suspect managed to get his hands out from behind his back, and he was trying to slip out of the handcuff. The suspect spit on our police officer. The officer was understandably angry. I agree. So far, I'm agreeing with Dan Hills. But the officer realizes the repeated tasing of the suspect was improper. This happened 2 years ago. The officer accepted his punishment of 3-day suspension. He's been back on the job, serving the community ever since. The officer accepted responsibility for what he did wrong. So far, I am 100% in agreement with Dan Hills. 100% in agreement with Dan Hills. The officer accepted that what he did was wrong. However, It's also wrong for a suspect who acted in such a racist and violent manner to ask city taxpayers to give him money 2 years after the fact. Well, I don't know that I agree with you there. I don't know that I agree with you there. That's where me and Dan Hills part ways. That's where me and Dan Hills part ways. So, of course, listening to the Lincoln Ware Show. Of course, listening to the Lincoln Ware Show. You would think that what this officer did was absolutely fine. Lincoln Ware and a number of his callers and a number of the people on his Facebook Live all said that this officer, not only was he not wrong, he was justified in doing it, and that the guy deserved it. And that if they were police, they would do the same thing, if not more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all, like, let's be reasonable about this. First, let me say, I'll reiterate, if I'm ever getting arrested, even like I was wrong, they caught me in the act, I was dead wrong, I'm going to be angry because I'm getting arrested. You're taking away my freedom. I'm going to be upset. No doubt about it. No question about it. I'm going to probably say some, possibly, depending on what I'm getting arrested for and how you treated me during the arrest. I'm going to probably say some bad stuff. I might call your mama a name, whether she's alive or not. I might call your mama a name. Will I be right for doing that? I don't know. It all depends. Maybe, maybe not. But you took an oath. You took an oath. And the oath you took was to uphold and defend the Constitution. And, of course, to uphold the laws and whatnot of the state of Ohio. And if you're in Cincinnati, the city of Cincinnati. You have policies that you're supposed to abide by. And you should abide by those. Again, the officer admitted that he was wrong. The officer accepted responsibility for being wrong. Even Dan Hills looks at it and says the officer was wrong. Even Dan Hills, who I believe to be a staunch racist, says the officer was wrong. I mean, it's a black officer, but still. And this is a guy who never believes police officers are wrong. But he acknowledged that what happened was wrong. So if the officer and his union rep can acknowledge that it was wrong, why are black people running around talking about it was okay? Those of us who've been the victims of some sort of police brutality, number one, there are rules and policies. But number two, the taser is not supposed to be because you mad at somebody and to punish them. That's not what the taser is for. That's not what the taser is for. And I'm not saying don't get mad, because he is human. And if you just lost a family member and somebody talking about urinating on your mama grave and urinating in your daughter's face and probably saying all kind of other stuff, calling you an N-word, whatever, I get you being mad. I get you being mad. I get you even wanting some get back. But you took that oath. You took that oath. And look, I'm actually, while it sounds like, oh, you're dogging out the officer, I don't know the officer. I don't know Officer Dozier. And, other than this, he might be an amazing human. But he clearly, in this instance, at least this instance, was not an amazing law enforcement official. Clearly. And if even he can say, I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. I take my punishment. What is it in us that looks at police officers and can excuse almost everything that they? Because it bothers me because of this. Here's why it bothers me. It bothers me because y'all gonna say this is a huge leap, but it's not a leap. It's not a huge leap. It is a leap, but it's not a huge leap. If we can excuse this, what? Because the officer was upset, the officer was mad, and so he made, and we can say, well, that's not, you don't spit on somebody. If you spit on somebody, you get what you get, and all of that kind of stuff. Where is the line? Where is the line? Like, I know in your mind, there still has to be a line, right? In your mind, there still has to be some point where you say, it's not okay for the officer to, because that's just retaliation at some point. It's not okay for officers to retaliate because they're offended, or even to retaliate because they've previously been assaulted by someone. Because the argument is, okay, he spit on him, and that's an assault, and he can't just let you assault him. But when do you not get to retaliate? Like, if I'm punching an officer, actively swinging at an officer, it's not retaliation, it's self-defense. He's got a right, a responsibility even, to defend himself. But if I run up and punch an officer and I sneak and punch him, I get it off. I get my punch off. Yeah, that officer get to arrest me. Chase me down, arrest me. But do he just get to beat me up while on duty? Hold on, I got CK calling there. CK.
Hey, Emanuel, how you doing,
I'm
sir?
hearing CK.
This is
CK?
phenomenal, man.
All right, I hear you now. CK, what's up?
He- this case you're talking about is freaking phenomenal, sir. You're saying that the man got arrested. What did he get arrested for?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's not in any of the stories that I've seen, so I don't know exactly what he was arrested for.
Okay, so you say, okay, forget what he was arrested for. You said he was getting arrested and he started throwing verbal combinations at the cops.
He was
Some
arrested.
good ones.
Oh no, he was arrested. He was in the back of the car, handcuffed.
Yes. Okay, good.
I guess throughout the entire process, yeah, he was throwing verbal jabs at the officer. And then
And you say he was hitting him with some haymaker. You hit him with some Tyson Ali ones.
yeah, he got
I piss on your mama grave.
with some terrible stuff. Then at some
So
point, I won't say he got free, but like back when I was younger and a little more limber, and of course, oh, now somebody said they can't hear me. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. They should be able to hear me. If you can't hear me, I don't know what's happening. But
are you serious? They can't hear the king? The king of talk?
That's what Benita says, that she can't hear me. But I'm looking and all of my stuff look fine. But so apparently he got the cuffs. Back when I wasn't fat, I could have done it, taking my feet through the cuffs. So got the cuffs in front of me, and then slid the little partition between the officer, and then he spit on him.
And then he tased him.
Well, then the officer says, according to the story, hold on, let me see if I can pull up the story. The officer says, wait a minute. Well, he says, because he's calling it in, and he's telling the people that he's calling it into, he just opened his partition and spit. So if I got spit on me, you know what's gonna happen. If I got
to what?
You know what's gonna happen. So
he said, if I have to what? I didn't hear that. If I have to what?
He opened the partition and spit. So if I got spit on me, you know what's gonna happen.
Oh, I got you.
So he wasn't even sure
Oh,
he was
he.
spit on at that moment. He know he spit or he spat, but he had to check himself. So I guess he pulls over to see, and he checks himself to see if he got spit on him. He sees,
Whoa.
oh yeah, I got some spit on me. So now you know what's gonna happen.
Admission of guilt right there. We got him.
But he
He
didn't.
admitted this.
And this officer, Officer Dozier, apparently, and I mean, at some point, he accepted his punishment and acknowledged his wrong.
Oh, okay. But it was premeditated uh, police brutality.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Well, like you said, the rules are the rules. You are the black man who decided to join the police force. You know you have to follow the rules. You are a black man who joined the police force. So of course you were. So what is the problem? What's going on?
Well,
What they mad about now?
there are a lot of people who are making the argument that this officer was justified, right, even in doing what he did, that this is not police brutality, and that really this is the way it should go down. If a person assaults a law enforcement official, they should have the right to retaliate violently.
Mm. Oh, I see. So all the public is find this action.
Yes.
So they don't agree with suspicion.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. No, no, no. I think people cool with the 3-day suspension. And let me just say, I think I fixed the volume problem. I think I understand what y'all was saying. I think I fixed it. So we'll see. I don't think people are mad because of that. They're just saying police should be able to do that.
Oh no, like you said, I got to go. We got to go with the king of talk on this one now. Come on, we got to keep it fair and balanced, like Fox News, right? We gonna keep it fair and balanced. You broke the rules, you have to pay. So they don't want to pay for the lawsuit.
But people don't want to pay for the lawsuit. For sure they don't. But more than anything, CK, my issue is the mindset of the people to believe that this is okay. Like, I'm not bashing Officer Dozier. I'm not bashing Officer Dozier. He was wrong. He admits he was wrong. He took his punishment. And to my knowledge, he's had no other issues. That I respect. I was wrong. Shouldn't have did it. I got punished. Let me go back and do my job. I respect that wholeheartedly. But now you got the people learning about it. Of course, 2 years later, the people learning about it saying he wasn't wrong. What did he do wrong? You don't spit on somebody. If you spit on somebody, it's okay for them to do that, even if they're a law enforcement official and they agree.
You can't break the law, though. Like you said, if you or I spit on each other, the law still cannot be broken. You are defend, like you said, it's a defend. You can defend yourself, but you can't premeditate admission of guilt. When I say if it spit on me, so like you said, I'm gonna get in my car. If it spit on me, I'm gonna get my gun and I'm gonna kill him. You admitted the guilt, right? So that was the you know what I mean? That's where he messed up with the tase.
All right.
Okay, if I have spit on me, I'm going to tase him. If I don't, he ain't gonna get tased. Admission of guilt. See, he got mixed up. He thought he was one of them. Yeah, that's justified in white policeman world. But you are an African American officer, so you have African American rules, as many of us do in our lines of work. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Yeah. You thought it was one of them. Because good old boy can get away. That's nothing. They wouldn't even blink their eye. It would have got erased. All the evidence wouldn't even be there. They'll be like, what call? we delete videos every 30 minutes around here. Oh, you black, we keeping it forever. Your footage. Whatever we can get on you, Jack, we gonna use. Because you chose to be a black man joining the police force. Yeah. I'm not gonna take the side of wrong. Like you said, right is right, wrong is wrong. You knew what to do. Charge him. He took that. All right, you know what's gonna happen. You about to get charged with spitting on the police. Got him. Am I
Yeah,
lying?
you're right. You're right.
I am a police officer. You spit on me. Now I'm going. You spit. That's a charge.
That's a
Now if I
charge.
pull over and it spit on me, that's gonna be another charge. There you go. What the hell is a taser? Oh, I need to get some get back. I'm
Yeah, you're right.
insecure. Because what my lady doing at the house, or because my kids keep getting suspended from school. I'm taking out my home trouble on people, real people, because of
CK,
what's going on at home. This is nothing to do. This is insecure. When people brutalize people at their work, it's because of their home life. They married to a woman that didn't have 4, 5 babies on them.
well, I don't know about
You see
that.
what I'm saying?
Hold on. No,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
what
Wait,
it is.
wait, CK. I don't know about that. But
That's
if
exactly
hold
why.
on, can I get it out, CK?
Okay, good. I'm
I don't
sorry,
know
sir.
about that. But if I accept what Dan Hill says as factual, uh, very close to that, his brother had been murdered. So yeah, maybe there was something in his personal
There
life
you go, right there at home.
that he
They're
was
home.
dealing with. Maybe not his wife having 5 babies on him or something like that. But there
No,
was
no, no. I'm
something
saying
that he
I'm,
was
I'm
dealing
giving
with
you my
personally.
scenario when people abuse me at work. It's because what they going on. You know, they just found out that the junior was a homosexual and they bringing that to work. You know, and they are brutalizing people. They don't know what's going on. You got boom. Then when you investigate, you find out. Just like you said, his brother was murdered. That's why he's brutalizing the public. Just because your brother got killed don't give you the right to be using police brutality. But you got to understand the reason why black people are agreeing with that because we love violence. We don't care about right or wrong. People that support that, they just like the tough guy image.
No,
They like,
CK. It's not that we love violence and we don't care about right from wrong. For whatever reason, some of us, can't seem to get past the mindset that the police are right. Whatever they do, the police are right unless we got a video of them shooting somebody 60 times in the back. And then still sometimes there's some of us who will say, well, he shouldn't have ran. Or, well, how was they supposed to know that it wasn't a gun? Or how, just because I shot 15 times, I didn't know that all the other officers was going to shoot 15 times. So there's, for whatever reason, we make all
but the
kind of
running should.
excuses for
But
law
remember,
enforcement bad behavior.
oh, listen, sir. Running is not that. That's just love. When you say they shouldn't have run, you're saying that out of love. Like, look here. If you wouldn't have run, I didn't want you to die. I know these fools out here don't shoot you. We don't. We know it's not right to shoot somebody in the back, but we're
Do we?
telling you not to
I
run
hear enough
out of love
people.
because
I don't hear enough people saying law enforcement is wrong when they do that. They're wrong.
because of fear.
I hear more people saying, well, he shouldn't have ran, than I hear saying the police shouldn't have did that. They were wrong.
Exactly, because you want to be part of the good old boy network. You want to align yourself with these people because they can help you out of legal situations. That's why when you trying to just align yourself with the good old boy network, hey, you want to rub elbows with the chief and all that, you can't keep it. You have to be in the politics. Either you're with us or against us. Those are the people I think you're talking about, the African American people. They with them regardless, no matter what they do.
All right.
I'm going to do Diablo. I'm going to do Diablo. You hear me? Is you going to play the lottery this week?
I don't know. I might.
Hey, man. Oh, my God.
I might.
Is you ready to be a billionaire Monday, man? What we going to... Hey, I wonder if I'm still going to be calling your show when I got billions. That's going to be crazy.
I was thinking about this, CK. But thank you for your call, sir.
All right.
All right. I was thinking about this. And I was thinking, what would I do different in my life if I won $1 billion? What would I do different? And I thought about it. And I said, because look, y'all don't understand. I'm gonna get back to that. I'm happy. Like in my life right now, this is probably the happiest I've ever been. This is probably the happiest I've ever been. And I don't have a traditional job. Um, so I don't have, as much money as I'm used to having. Not that I'm used to having a lot, but I don't have any financial issues whatsoever, right? I have no financial issues. All my bills get paid. Um, I eat, I eat every day. You can tell. I eat every day. All my bills is paid. Um, gas, I keep gas in my car. Uh, Whenever me and Mrs. Livingston want to go out and do something, we go do it. We want to go somewhere, we go. We like, I want to buy something, I go buy it. I don't have any financial issues, but even more than that, I'm just happy. So the only thing $1 billion could do, the only thing $1 billion, well, not the only thing, but what would change in my life with $1 billion? I might upgrade a few things. I'm sure I buy a different house. I buy a different house, and yes, I would pay for it straight cash because I'm not with having bills. If I had a mortgage on this house, I would probably be vaccinated right now because I would have said, "Oh, I can't lose this job. I got to pay my mortgage." If I had a car payment, I might be vaccinated right now. So, oh, I can't lose this. I can't lose my car. So I got to keep a job. So let me get a vaccination to keep this job. But not having any of those concerns allowed me the freedom to say, no, this is what I believe. I would have had to compromise what I honestly believe in to keep a job. But having the freedom to not have to compromise was a beautiful thing. And of course, having a supportive wife who said, okay, Ann, I got you. Don't worry about it. So I would move. I would move to a different house, slightly bigger house. Um, I would I would buy a different car, even though I would keep the car that I have, and it wouldn't be like some big fancy car. It might not even be brand new. It might be a used car. There's a couple cars that I like that I would consider. Now, Mrs. Livingston, I know she would get a Porsche 911. And it would be an older one because she don't like the new ones. But that is her car. Like, she loves a Porsche 911. I'm gonna say circa 94, 95, somewhere in there. She loves those. So we'd get one of those, and I don't know. For me, I'd maybe get like a I don't know. I would get a different car. It would actually be a car because I would keep my SUV because I use that a lot for work. I would still work. I would still do all the freelance stuff that I do now. That would be about the only that would I think that would be really the main difference. I mean, I would, show some love to family, to some friends. And that would be about it. That would be about it. Everything else that I do, I would keep doing. Well, when I thought about getting a scooter, I would have probably just went and bought a scooter. Um, so that would have been that. But other than that, everything else, I would do the same. I would do the same. So I don't know. I mean, I'll play the lottery. I would play the lottery. I'm gonna play the lottery. Just kind of, on the off chance. On the off chance. I really can't think of anything. I think I heard Wyatt say this yesterday. I can't think of anything where I can take $5 or $7 or $8 or whatever. Well, it's like $2 a ticket. I don't know because I don't play the lottery. I'll find out when I get there. And have a chance of winning up to $1 billion or so dollars. You got to take that chance. You got to take that chance. But I wouldn't. Jason says I'm out of Ohio. Sorry, I wouldn't leave Ohio. First, nobody would know that I won the money. Nobody would know that I won the money. Like, I wouldn't tomorrow Like, you know what? The thing happened. The thing happened on Friday. So I found out I went on Friday, get my little money whenever I get my money, and then the next day go pay cash for a house. Number one, I wouldn't. It would be through a trust and all of that kind of stuff. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be public that I won. Luckily, we live in a state where you don't have to reveal your identity. There's some things you have to go through, but nobody would know I won. And eventually people would start seeing me with different stuff, but nobody would know I won. Nobody would know. Well, some family members would know, but I would hook them up anyway. So no, I wouldn't leave. Richard says, man, you have a boring life. Hey, what's boring to you might not be boring to me. Now, I don't know what I said made it be a boring life. What? Because I don't want a whole lot of fancy stuff. But I'm happy. I get out. Like I said, when me and Mrs. Livingston want to go somewhere, we go. When we want to do something, we do it. We want to eat something, we eat it. We want to chill, we chill. We do what we want to do. We do what we want to do when we want to do it. And from a material standpoint, only thing that I can think of that Mrs. Livingston has ever really said, like, I would love to have that, and I'm not gotten it for her, is a Porsche 911. It's a Porsche 911, which I believe she's more, of course, up on this stuff than me, because I'm not into like sports cars and stuff like that. But I believe they don't make the 911 anymore. I believe now the 911 is the 924. And so she don't want whatever the new version of the 911 is. She wants an older 911. How is that boring? I don't understand how that's boring. I would move to a warmer state, but I would have a home in a warmer area and have a home here. But again, I wouldn't be announcing to everybody. You know, people found out, like, I got a spot that I stay at in, I don't know, I was there a few weeks ago, Phoenix. So I go there for, a good portion of the winter, and then I come back here. But again, people would not know. People would not know that I won that lottery. People would just think, man, he grinding. He out there grinding. He got another car. What, a Buick? What is that car? Is it a Lucerne? And the Buick got the little car that Buick got. And again, I'm not saying like, oh, I want one. Like, that's not my dream car. I don't have a dream car. But if I was buying a car, yeah, I'd buy a Honda Accord, maybe a Buick Lucerne. If it is the Lucerne, I'm not sure if it's the Lucerne. Whatever the newest, latest Buick. No, not the Enclave, because that's a SUV. I don't want another SUV. I want an actual car. Jason says your pattern would change. It would change a little bit. But I wouldn't be running around rocking Gucci and, driving some big fancy car. Like I would be driving a car that if I saved up for a couple years right now, I could buy anyway. That's why I said I wouldn't even buy a brand new Buick, whatever. It wouldn't even be brand new. It would be used. Nobody would be looking at me like, oh, he balling out. He must have won $1 billion. He bought a Buick. Nobody has ever said that, ever. He must be a billionaire. He drive a Buick. No one anywhere has ever said that. That would be me. So it wouldn't shock anybody when I turn up in a Buick. Now, some haters, he think he's somebody because he got a new car. That's what Jason says. Your whole attitude would change. There would be people who would say that. He think he's somebody because he got another car. Lacrosse. Okay, yeah, lacrosse. That's it. I buy, what is it now? It's 2022. So I'll probably buy like a 2020 Buick LaCrosse or a 2020 Honda Accord or a 2020, you know what I'm saying? Something regular, not even like a Lexus. I see you, Diane. I see you, Diane. I'm sorry. Uh, Diane said, hope to retire soon. My dream car is a Lexus. That's not asking much. It's not. But I wouldn't even buy a Lexus. It'd be a Buick or a Toyota or a Honda or something like that. Something simple. Because for real, uh, Jason says, no Beamer, please stop. I'm Jason, you don't understand. I'm as serious as I can be. I'm as serious as I could be. Anthony, that would free up some time where I would buy that transmission and it would free up a little bit of time where I could put it in myself. I would still do projects like that. I would still do projects like that. E-man, stop it, bro. Please, you're killing me. What? What? Is what I'm saying unreasonable? Is what I'm saying unreasonable? Like because I got $1 billion, I got to have a Bentley. I only said Bentley because I saw it pop up. Get a real motorcycle. I don't want a motorcycle. If I wanted a motorcycle, I could go out right now and buy a motorcycle. I got money to buy a motorcycle right now if I wanted one. Actually, I got money right now to go out and buy a scooter if I wanted one. And if things don't go right with this moped, I might go buy a scooter. But I don't value those things. And I'm telling you straight up, if I was a billionaire, I still wouldn't value those things. And I don't know what it is in me. I don't know what it is in me. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with somebody who wants a Lexus or Mercedes or uh, BMW or, even some of those fancier cars that I don't know nothing about. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with it if you want a Lexus, if you want a Mercedes, if you want a BMW, if you want a high-end car. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. I'm just not that way. I don't value those things. I don't value those things. Bet you would keep all those trees cut down. Them trees gonna get cut down tomorrow. Tomorrow. And not to go back onto the tree saga, but another tree fell in the keep it. These trees are not in my yard. These are my neighbor's trees. They are my neighbor's trees, but they hang over my yard. And I think the weight from the other trees that fell snapped another tree branch. So yeah, tomorrow morning, first thing I'm picking up that lift and cutting all this stuff back. But anyway, I don't want to get back into that. But yeah, I noticed yesterday evening that another tree snapped. It is a mess back there. But anyway. Richard says, I live once. I'm turning up. I'm buying a Bentley. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't have anything wrong with that. I don't have any problem with that. If you want to buy a Bentley, if that's that is your version of living your best life is having a whole lot of nice stuff, go for it. My version of living my best life is being happy. Just being happy. Having what I need, having what I want, and what I want is not a Bentley. I don't take care of my car enough to want a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? I don't take care of my car enough to be like, I want a Bentley. I don't value that stuff. I don't value that stuff. And I feel like that would change me. Like if I had a Bentley, I wouldn't ever want to get a scratch on it. I would, get it detailed every, that would that would change me. I would change, I guess, what I value. I mean, even for example, I got a new phone. I got a new phone. Got a new phone. Because Mrs. Livingston was like, you know what? I'm tired of you and that phone. It won't even charge right. Um, the screen is cracked. You can't FaceTime, nothing. Let's go to the Apple store. We getting you a new phone today. And that's what we did. We went to the Apple store, got a new phone, got some AirPods, and that's that. That's that. And now I'm like, I had to get a case for it, and I had to get the screen protector, and that's why I don't like new stuff, because then you got to really, really baby it. At least from my perspective. If it was up to me, which she didn't leave it up to me. If it was up to me, I would have went to Micro Center, got one of them refurbished uh, iPhone X's, and that would have been it. Period. It would have been the end of it. It would have been the end of it. A refurbished iPhone X. I would have been happy with that. I'm telling y'all, I would have been happy with that. I mean, I'm cool with the new phone too. I'm cool with the new phone. But I wouldn't have, even though, as y'all, clearly y'all see, we can afford it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got it. But I wouldn't have paid for it. And it's not financial. I don't. And now I got to baby it. I don't want to scratch. I don't like that. I don't like feeling that way. I like feeling like if I drop my phone, oh well, it was a refurbished phone. Let me replace the screen. Let me get in there, go on something and figure out how to take it apart and replace the screen. I like doing stuff like that. So everybody doesn't just sit around, uh, you know, longing for material things, the best, the newest, the brightest, the shiniest. Everybody doesn't do that. It doesn't make you wrong if you do. Like you said, you want a Bentley, and you're not wrong if you want a Bentley. I don't, because I know people, oh, you judging. People always talk about my tone sounds judgmental. I'm not saying you're wrong if you want a Bentley. You're not. You're not. I'm just saying everybody don't want that. Everybody don't want that. But anyway, that's enough about the lottery. That's enough about the lottery. E-Man, would you pay all 100 million in tithes to your church, or would you spread it? Let me say this. I've never. I'm trying to make sure that I say it correctly. I've never fully subscribed to the idea of tithes. I've never fully subscribed to the idea of tithes. I give to organizations, to a church, to whatever, based on what I feel like giving. Based on what I feel like giving. If you lock me into give a tenth of your income, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because it seems too formulaic. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the way it's supposed to, this is, I'm never like that. Let me get, just like, when I go to a restaurant and then they add the tip on there automatically, that's all you get. That's all you get. Most times, if you don't do that, you was going to get more. You was going to get more. But if you add it on there, that's all you get. Don't stick me with a formula. You know what I'm saying? Let me do what I want to do. You get more that way. You get more that way. But again, that's just me. But no, I don't. Honestly, I think I might with the church that I currently attend. Not that there's any problem with the building that they're in. None whatsoever. It's actually a very nice facility. But I would probably offer to design and build them a new church somewhere. a whole new building. They'd probably say no, they're fine, but I would offer that. In a secret way. I don't know exactly how. I don't know exactly how. I might go to the pastor and say, hey, pastor, now this is just between me and you. Because we got a relationship like that. And I would tell him, I've come into a little bit of money and I want to help. I want to do something, but there's a few strings attached. And of course, one of the strings attached is no one can ever know that I was the one who did this. No one can ever know I was the one who did this. You can't share this with nobody. Even if the board asks you, where does the money coming from? All you can tell them is a source. That's all I can tell you is coming from a source. You cannot tell them who it was. I do that from time to time now. If I give somebody something, from time to time I say, hey, whatever you do, don't tell nobody you got it from me. And I'm not talking about bad gossip. I'm talking about actually doing something. Don't tell nobody that you got it from me, or don't tell nobody that I participated in this. Don't tell nobody that I was a part of this. I do that all the time because it ain't nobody business. It ain't nobody business. Then Pastor would want a designer shopping spree. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. No 10% of lottery winnings. Remember the black lady in North Carolina? Yeah, I remember that. That wouldn't be me. That wouldn't be me. If you were a millionaire, would you preemptively slap the fire out of Lincoln? Where? No, no. I've never wanted to slap Lincoln. I've never wanted to slap Lincoln. Lincoln wanted to punch me in the mouth, but I've never wanted to slap Lincoln. Well, let me take that back. I have considered slapping Lincoln, but I didn't feel like it was worth it. I didn't feel like it was worth it. Are you sipping your brand of whiskey too, Emanuel? I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. I ran across this shirt. I don't know, like at Walmart or something. I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere. I saw the shirt. I It never even dawned on me as Tennessee whiskey. I didn't even the shape of the design never even dawned on me. It was just, it said whiskey. I knew that, but more than anything, I was wearing something that this color went perfect with. So I got the shirt just because of this color. And then I've been wearing it. And then somebody, that Tennessee whiskey, and I was like, that is what it say. But I got the shirt just because of the color. Which, by the way, this is the color of the that the other, I'm gonna do gray, and then all of my lettering and all that kind of stuff is gonna be this color. Um, but anyway, back to man, I got sidetracked. Back to the cop thing. Back to the cop thing. For all of y'all who are saying, I, let me say, I understand the people who say, I understand how you could lose it. He was wrong, but I can understand it. That I get. That I get. And that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I can see how one could lose it, but it was still wrong and it shouldn't have happened. That makes perfect sense to me. You get no argument from me on that. But the people who saying he was justified, which there are a lot of people saying he was justified, that's different. And when we start justifying police officers' wrongdoing, okay, it's okay if he spit on you for you to tase him. That's justified. But then it's clearly okay if he punch you for you to tase him or for you to kind of beat him down, right? Then it's clearly okay. You see what I'm saying? And then you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. And next thing you know, We're almost kind of where we are and where we have been. It's okay if he runs for you to shoot him 60 times in the back. It's okay because he shouldn't have ran. That's really all I wanted to say with regard to that in terms of people justifying it. There was another couple of things in here. So he radios, and he tells the people that listening to him on the radio, he just opened his partition and spit. So if I got spit on me, you know what's going to happen. Y'all, that means this is common. That's what that says to me. This is common. If I say to you, if so-and-so happened, you know what's going to happen. That means that we have an understanding. There is, I don't even have to communicate to you what's about to happen because this is our standard operating procedure. This is our standard operating procedure. If you talking to a dude and a dude look at his friend and say, if he say one more word, you know what's about to happen. And they don't have to spell it out. He done did this before, or they done had this conversation before. This is the way they operate. If she come down here and look at me that one way one more time, bro, you know what's gonna happen. That means this happens on a regular basis, y'all. That means this is to some degree, this is standard operating procedure. This is standard operating procedure. So this coming out says to me, this is what the police do. They have their own code of justice that's not written in the law books or in their policy, but they all understand it and they're all okay with it. That's what I hear when I see that. If it spit on me, you know what's gonna happen. So, oh, he gonna beat him down, or oh, he gonna tase him. He gonna get out. He gonna get out. And he gonna tase him. Somebody better get there. He gonna electrocute that boy to death. Yes, to death. DEAF. He gonna electrocute that boy to death. Somebody better get out there, because you know what's gonna happen. That's standard operating procedure. And the other thing about this is, why have we not heard about this? Why have we not heard about this? This happened 2 years ago. I don't know why, but I'm of the mind that the public should hear about all of this stuff on a regular basis. The thing with the cop up there in Western Hills saying end, that came out because of this case about the ends. This case that's going on. This came out because of that case about the ends. This came out because of that. What other horrible things are going on over there in the Cincinnati Police Department that we should know? What else is going on over there that we should know? It just brings up that question to me. These are two, relatively big incidents that happen. These are relatively big incidents. We just now hearing about them. Why are we just now hearing about them? Oh, I still say surefire right there. My bad. I should have took that down a long time ago. Maybe we need more cases of police suing the city so that we can get more information. More of that information that they kind of bury and that they don't share with people. We should know about, I'm of the mind that we should know about all instances of police brutality. And again, I'm not even saying, because somebody could make the argument. I don't know Officer Dozier, so I'm not getting on Officer Dozier. I'm with those of y'all who say, I kind of understand the mindset behind if you spit on me, I'm going to do something bad to you. But he was wrong for doing it. And I respect that he took his punishment. Because that's where I am with it. But again, I don't get the people who say it was justified. It was justified. On the streets, in a fight, maybe it's justified, but he an officer of the law. He was on a job where there are rules and regulations. Bye, Mr. Ware. Yeah, yeah. That's what I've said before. Why do we have to wait until a lawsuit before knowing things like this out of CPD? This is the stuff. I honestly believe. Now, when I really think about it, how would we know this stuff? How would we know this stuff? I don't know. I'm kind of trying to think about it in a way that makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me. That well, it kind of does. Can I think it through out loud with y'all? Some of the stuff I say might sound crazy, but I'm thinking it through. So allow me to think it through out loud. And it will give you a little bit of a window into the way that I process information as well. Okay. Police officer brutalizes a citizen. There was a report made of some sort, an investigation. What if? What if? Because I think as it stands now, the only way that I'm going to find that out is like through a public records request. But I don't even know to request records of an incident that I don't know happened. So how would I proactively put in a public records request for something that I don't know happened? Right? What should happen? What should happen? Maybe. Like how the president, how they do a daily briefing. I'm thinking maybe we should request that. Like the public information officer for the Cincinnati Police Department holds a daily briefing. Holds a daily briefing where they tell us this is how many arrests we made. This is how many calls we went on. This is how many officers were on duty. This is how many complaints we got. And then when an incident comes up, okay, well, yesterday we had an officer who it's alleged that there was a case of police brutality. We are investigating it, but here's the information that we know now. It's maybe something like that, like for real, a daily briefing or a weekly briefing. I don't think a daily briefing is too much. I don't think I mean, you're the public information officer. You're the spokespeople for the police department. Get out and tell us what's going on every day. Get out and tell us what's going on every day. Does that seem unreasonable? Jason says not daily, twice a week. Why twice a week? The in a good White House, you almost get a daily briefing. And that's the White House. If the White House can do a daily briefing, because they have a press secretary, the police could do a daily briefing every morning or every afternoon. They have I'm sure there's a spot that they have. I'm saying I'm 100% sure. There's a spot that they have where every morning at 10:30 or every afternoon at 2, whatever time they choose, they do a briefing. That way nobody can say, they're not transparent. Well, we're not transparent. We do a briefing every day, Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. And then, of course, on Monday, the briefing might be a little longer because they got to talk about everything that happened over the weekend. But then we would know. But then we would know. Jason says it's too much going on in Cincinnati. And Jason, you're making excuses for him. You're making excuses for him. No, I know you're just thinking it out like me. Um, it don't matter if it's a lot going on, and it don't matter if the news report what the news want to report. Jason says the news reports it. The news reports it. They report what they want to report. But in this briefing, they could get up and they could just lay it out. This is how many arrests were made yesterday on these calls. Because they got that information, when they get called to a call, boom, it's there. It's documented. If they make an arrest, boom, it's documented. So it's not like, I'm not saying go through every arrest and say, this guy was arrested because of this. This guy was arrested because of that. This guy was arrested because of this. But if you made, 50 arrests, what's today? Friday. So, but it's 2:00. We doing our daily briefing, our CPD daily briefing. And we're saying, yesterday, we made, 75 arrests. 75 arrests on this many whatever. Hand out the information. Print it up. Hand it out. Have it available for the media and interested parties. And then they can go through and break it down and say, all right, James Thomas was arrested for domestic violence. And Susie Law was arrested for whatever. This is what happened yesterday. We had, during first shift, we had 632 officers on duty. During second shift, we had 475. During third shift, we had 892. I'm just throwing out numbers. These aren't realistic. Just an example. Officers on duty. We got the breakdown by districts in your paperwork that you have. That's how many officers were on duty. And, we got 217 complaints against officers yesterday for, previous things. We still have to go through and sort those out, but you'll see that this is how many complaints we have. We did have a few cases of what people complained about, cases of brutality. Again, internal affairs, they are investigating those. All the information is detailed in your packet of information that we're giving you. That they can even, somebody said, what about good news? What about good news? They can give out good news. They can give out good news. Because they can tell, we went on this many runs. Police were called out on this many runs yesterday. This is how many calls for service we had. And there's a breakdown on the type of calls for service that they are. And it's all in the information that you have. Why is that? But somebody said, hold on. That's not reasonable. Cut it out. What is unreasonable about transparency? About doing a daily briefing? What's unreasonable about that? What's unreasonable about it? Briefing should involve collaborative input. I don't know about that. I don't think the briefing should involve collaborative input. The briefing is just the police giving you just the facts. This is what happened. This is what happened. We suspended 4 officers yesterday and also in your packet, you'll see a breakdown. This is the officer that was suspended. This is what they were suspended for. This is how long the suspension is. They have all of that information on hand. It wouldn't be hard to put it together because it's all there. And just share that information with the public. If the police force would be that transparent, then maybe the community would trust them more and then call Crime Stoppers on that less than 5% of the community that's up to no good. Yeah. So basically, just to make citizens more aware of the crime in the city or make them more aware of what's going on, be it good or bad. I know how many police officers were out there. I know, these are the calls that they went to. These are, we have this many complaints or no complaints, this many commendations. Um, these officers were suspended for these things. These officers are under investigation pending. Just give us the information. Does Cincinnati have one of those city government public access stations or social media pages? That type of report could be uploaded daily. Exactly. It could be uploaded daily. And you're sitting there, you're doing basically a press conference, a daily briefing with reporters there, and they get to ask questions. They get to ask questions, just like a White House press briefing. All right. So and so from WOWT. So you said 3 officers were suspended. Any information? What were they suspended for? Well, it's in your packet, but this, that. And well, what policy does that violate? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever question that they're going to ask. Bam, they do the briefing. It's over. It's over. They did the whole briefing. Shouldn't take very long. I watched White House press briefings. They don't take forever. They say what they want to say. They talk about new initiatives. They talk about, this, and this, and that. And the reporters ask questions. And then Jason says there wouldn't be any room left for any other news. That would be great to be the news. That would be great to be the news. I mean, there would be, the news would pick out what they perceive to be newsworthy. People like me would pick out what I perceive to be newsworthy. Of course, I'd be like, hold on, let me see the breakdown on the racial breakdown on the people who got arrested. Since they love to paint this picture that all black people are out there committing crime, let me see the racial breakdown on who being arrested. And I'd be up in there and they'd be like, all right, Livingston. And I'd be like, I was looking at the breakdown from yesterday and the racial breakdown, the city's population is, roughly 50% black, 50% white. Why are 75% of the arrests of black people? Is it Cincinnati police policy that, are y'all policing as hard in the white areas of town? Like, this guy was arrested for smoking a cigarette in the street. I know people smoke cigarettes in Hyde Park. Why are they not arrested over there? Explain that to me, please. I just made that up. I don't know that that's happening. I'm just saying. Then they could have a press conference. You could call them on the different things. It's just being transparent. And it wouldn't be that hard to do. Brian says, what's unreasonable is only our conditioning that accountability isn't part of their regular responsibilities. Also, now they would be responsible for what they claim is fact, rather than just shoving reports at the news that the news treats as gospel. I don't think what I'm asking is reasonable. I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable. I don't think people really care. They would have already started doing this. Jason, the reason, maybe no one's ever thought of it. First, maybe no one's ever thought of it. Second, I wouldn't say that people don't care, but it's people like you who are kind of poo-pooing the idea. Yeah, I said poo-poo. They're kind of poo-pooing the idea like, we don't need that. That's too much. We don't need to know all of that. That would take away all the news. Is that really necessary? Why would they want to do that? People care. Just people don't really believe that it's necessary or that it could happen or that it's reasonable. And all the other excuses that you and other people can come up with for why it wouldn't be a good idea. Bottom line, even if they did daily briefings or whatever, they're still going to share what they want you to know, just like the news. So who knows if it would be the total truth? I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is if we had it where they had to report, it's clearly expected that you report any disciplinary action for officers that's current. You know, if an officer got suspended today, that got to be in the report. If an officer arrests somebody today, that got to be in the report. Because then what you do is if they don't add it in the report and you find out later, well, now you can try to hold them accountable in some way. Now it's clear y'all trying to suppress information from the people. But if they don't give out information, like I can't say they suppressed this information that happened with Officer Dozier or this information that they had about the white lady whose name I can't remember, the white lady who said she hates ends. I can't say they suppressed it because there's no mechanism that we have in place that requires them to give it out. So they didn't suppress it. They just didn't give it because we don't ask them for it. You talking about micromanaging the police. That is not micromanaging the police. Are we micromanaging the president? He does a daily briefing, or at least the White House. They give out information. That's not micromanagement. That's getting daily information. Why are y'all against getting information from the police? I really don't understand y'all. I really don't understand. This is the stuff that I be talking about. This is the stuff that be frustrating me. Look, if you don't think it's a good idea, just because, you know, whatever. Okay. You don't have to agree that it's a good idea. But you making excuses, like, at least have a real reason why it's not a good idea. Because you micromanaging the police. Because it wouldn't be no more news. Because those are stupid. Those are stupid. So saying, tell me what's going on. That's micromanaging. Every day, tell me what's going on. That's micromanaging. Jason says, they actually do this in Cleveland. Sunday's paper does a whole recap of all the arrests for the week. That's just a part of the briefing. That's just a part of the briefing. Yeah, you can tell us these are all the arrests for the week. You don't have to go through each and every one of them. Put them in the report. Give the report to the people. Tell us about police who are, have we started any new investigations? Y'all know if y'all started new internal investigations. Okay, they might not want to share that they've started new internal investigations because it might be a secret. And so they alert people and whatever. But once an investigation is over, when you've closed an investigation, we've closed 7 internal investigations today. Here are our results. Here's what we found out, or the conclusion that we've come to. 4 of them were totally unsubstantiated. 3 of them were substantiated, and, the officer got a write-up. One of them, that officer was suspended for 3 days without pay. All of the details are in your packet, so you have that information. I don't think what I'm saying is difficult or hard. Basically, make a police Bible. I don't know what that means. Couldn't we just call the police and ask them what happened the night before? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. No, who you going to... So if 7,000 people wanted to know what happened, then they got to field 7,000 calls, and they're not going to give you every arrest that happened yesterday. I would argue, Jason, that it's unreasonable. That's unreasonable to say, call the public information officer and ask her to relay every arrest that happened yesterday over the phone. Call the public information officer and ask them to relay over the phone every investigation that got concluded. That sounds a little bit unreasonable because I might do it, and then you do it, and then Brian does it, and then Kenneth does it, and then Ben does it, and then all that officer would be doing all day is on the phone reading the report. Just hold a press conference or a briefing. Just hold a briefing. Many of your listeners don't think it's a good idea because they're a bunch of punks and scared to piss off cops. Kenneth says they're liars and no one should trust them, period. Ben says, who wants to know all of this? The people. A number of people want to know all of this. Oh no, who want to know everything that Joe Biden administration holds their press conference daily? People. People want to know. That's who want to know. How many different districts are in there in Cincinnati? I think it would be so much information that it would be overwhelming for a communications director. Excuses, excuses. How is it overwhelming to say that they already compile the data? Again, you're acting as if I'm saying, go through every arrest detail by detail and tell us. There was 75 arrests last night. How is it overwhelming for the public information officer to say there were 75 arrests yesterday? That didn't feel overwhelming. I just did it. It didn't feel overwhelming. And if you want to know the details, it's in the report. Somehow I just did it. That didn't feel overwhelming. We had 237 arrests across all, what is it, 6 districts, 7? I don't remember. Across all our districts. I'm doing an internal, I don't feel overwhelmed. That doesn't feel overwhelming. So it doesn't matter how many districts there are in Cincinnati. That much information would not be overwhelming. Yeah, but now you want a daily briefing. That's a big deal. It's not a big deal. They do it have you ever watched the White House's daily press briefing? Have you ever watched the White House press briefing? They do it, typically on a daily basis. Jean-Pierre, whatever her name is. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She's an attractive lady, even though she's a lesbian. I don't even know why that matters. But she gets up there and she gives out information. The press asks her questions. It's not that big of a deal. Why don't the people complaining or making complaints share the information? That's more reasonable. It's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. It's not reasonable, not even a little bit. If I complain on an officer and I'm required to get up and hold a press conference to share all the details about the officer I'm complaining about, I could get a lot of backlash, retaliation, all of that good stuff. That's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. But we shouldn't be learning about things like this 2 years later just because there's a lawsuit. When this happened and Officer Dozier was suspended for, 3 days without pay, there should have been a briefing of some sort. If they did a daily briefing that day when they finalized his suspension, that could have been, if he was the only one, there was one officer suspended yesterday, and the details of that suspension is is out there. Pass out information to the people who come containing all these details. We should have known about it then. Then somebody in the press conference, hold on, it says here uh, that this officer was suspended because he tasered a handcuff. Can you give us more details about that? People aren't going to ask about everything, but something like that, yeah. And then the public information officer can, but okay, this is what happened. Um, this person spit on our officer. Our officer, he had just lost a brother to a murder, and he got out of the car. The guy had taken his handcuffs and opened up the partition, spit on him, and he got out and he tasered the guy. It was against policy. Uh, we investigated. He was suspended for 3 days without pay, and that's all the information that we have. The more details are in the report, but that's the information. It was dealt with. The officer acknowledges that he was wrong. He taken his suspension, and we move on. Maybe we'll do a training just to let officers know, or we'll mention in roll call today, or we mentioned in roll call today, just to reiterate, you have to be professional at all times. At all times. We're putting together another training to, train officers how, if someone gets out of their cuffs in the back, how to deal with that. I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't think that was too much information to give to the public. Marcus can explain pronouns. Marcus said he was hanging out with Dick. I believe him. Jason says Dan Hills would never allow this, and he seems to be the boss. He's the union representative, and he has no say, zero say, over whether or not the police hold a daily briefing. None. It's reasonable, and maybe that's something that I'll bring up to the mayor, to Scotty, to I've not met the new interim police chief. I've not met her. I need to make it my business to meet her. If Chief Isaac was still there, I would suggest it to him, and maybe I'll even bring it up to Iris. I'll bring it up to Iris and see. Maybe I feel like it's a good idea. As I just thought it out, I feel like it's a good idea. What's the worst that could happen? Is they could say no. That's the worst that could happen. But I think I'll bring it up. I think it would be good for Cincinnati. And I don't know that there's any other police organizations. There might be somewhere that does it, but if not, heck, Cincinnati could be a leader on this. The chief doesn't have to be there. Other officers don't have to be there. Just the public information officer, and just knock it out at 10:30 in the morning. Knock it out at 10:30 in the morning. Or somebody said, maybe once a week, twice a week, something like that. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to bring it up to somebody. Cincinnati is a leader in this. Jason says, we at work. What? Hold on, we at work. I don't understand. You just got excuse after excuse why the police should not be transparent. Hey man, that's a great idea. 5 p.m. briefing. No. Because while the briefing is for the people, just like the White House, they don't hold their briefing at 5 p.m. They hold it at a time that's convenient for them, and for the, some of it is for the news. Some of it is for the people who are supposed to, not supposed to, but who have taken the mantle of disseminating information to the public. So you hold the briefing, for the members of the media, You could televise it, sure, for the public, and they could watch it later. But sure, you want the city in an uproar. It's enough bad news already. Look, if the city gonna be in an uproar because of the truth, I'm not asking them to tell us anything that ain't true. If it was 200 arrests yesterday, tell me it was 200 arrests yesterday. If that puts the city in an uproar, then okay. But how am I? What I'm asking, transparency does not put the city in an uproar unless law enforcement is doing things that they got no business doing. Most people at work at 10:30. That's the only reason. Again, I really don't. I don't think you understand how this stuff works. Most people at work at 10:30, 11:30, 1 o'clock when the White House does their press briefing. And guess how we find out what happened in that press briefing? You can go back and you can find it, on media outlets. Or you watch the news and you see that young sister, that young Haitian sister up there taking questions and answering questions and giving out information. You see that in the news. And they say at the White House announced today that they have a new initiative. Today at the White House press briefing, they said we are not in a recession. They give you that information. It would be the same thing. You're getting involved, and that's what people always say, and you're trying to do it. I am going to bring it up to them. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I'm going to call tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, Monday. I'm going to call Scotty. I'm going to call Councilman Johnson. I'm going to call Mayor Pureval. I'm going to call Iris Rowley. I'm going to call, again, I've not met the chief. So she's going to be like, who is this? Who are you? And I'm going to be like, my name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm the king of talk. And she ain't going to listen to me. But I'll call and I'm going to suggest it. I'm going to suggest the city manager. I'm going to suggest it to him too. But who's going to be looking out for daily crime briefing in 513? The news media. It's just hard for you to understand. You should also call the. Oh, you're talking about Marcus. Jason. I just don't think that you understand what a daily briefing entails. I really think that's just it. But I think does anybody else? Does anybody else? Does that sound like a good idea to anybody? Show of hands. E-Man, if this works, I want to see you on the ballot next year. I don't think I would ever run for office. If I ran and got elected once, I would only get elected once. I would only get elected once. Nat says it's a decent idea. Anthony says decent. Jason says it's unreasonable. He says it's not a bad idea. It's unreasonable. Benita, I'm going to guess that's you saying yeah. McConnell says, oh, it's a good idea. Just will they do it? I don't know. But I think we bring it up. We make the suggestion. Brent saying it's a good idea. Okay. So what do I move forward? Like do I call? I'm gonna call, but I just was curious about y'all thoughts about it. Terry, Lonzo both said good idea. Yeah, daily briefing. And the way I see it, and I'm going to move on. The way I see it, that would give the public information officer something to do. Like it would give that job some meaning. I mean, other than when somebody gets shot. Because that's really one of the only times that we hear from them. You know what I'm saying? Like they hold a press conference when somebody gets shot. But if they hold a press conference daily, then you got that public information officer that becomes, a really important job, like the press secretary for the White House. That becomes a really important job. And in all reality, I think the mayor should do, or the city hall should hold some sort of a regular press briefing as well. You act like they don't have a full schedule. I don't know that they do. I don't know that they do. Um, cut their ass bright and early while they eating breakfast. LaDonna likes it. All right. Kim says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon, Kim. Let me think. Is there anything else? Uh, there was something else that I wanted to discuss. I said I was gonna print this stuff out. I do have to tell y'all. Monday, Eli's barbecue. It's not happening this Monday. I think we're pushing it back to next Monday. And let me be clear, it's not Eli's fault. It's not Wyatt's fault. It's me. It's me. It's all because of me. Um, I think we were all on schedule to do it Monday. The weather says it's gonna rain, and we really kind of want it to be outside. I don't want to be outside in the rain with electronic equipment, cameras, and all that kind of stuff in the rain. So that's number one, why it's not going to happen on this Monday. And then number two, yesterday I learned that I have to be at a funeral on Monday. The funeral starts at 11. So, or at least what I think the wake starts at 11, which I think means the funeral starts at noon. And, funerals can be long, they can be short. I don't know, but I wouldn't even try to get from a funeral even at 12:30 to do a live broadcast at 1 o'clock. So I have to, but I got to go to a funeral on Monday. So we are pushing it from this Monday to next Monday, tentatively. Tentatively, we are moving from August 1st to August 8th. Okay. Anything changes, like I told you, just like this, if anything changes, why can't I talk? If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. And that also means I won't be on Monday. I won't be on live on Monday. No King and I on Monday. We'll do the King and I, at least tentatively. We've come to the conclusion that maybe we can push the King and I to Tuesday of next week, since I won't be able to do it on Monday. All right. Anthony says, "Dude, gotta work next Monday." Damn, effing up the program, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But someone died, and I have to go and work at the funeral. So I apologize for that person dying. I had no control over it. And initially the funeral was scheduled to be somewhere else, but I guess at the last moment they moved the funeral to the church that I do sound for. And so yesterday, I was informed that the funeral will be there, and I was asked about being there to do the sound. And I'm talking about a funeral, like if it's just like a Bible study or something like that, and the sound is gonna be a little messed up, I'll be like, "No, y'all good. Y'all good. Oh, we're gonna have a meeting and we need you there. Like, nah, y'all good. Y'all know how to turn everything on and everything, so y'all good. But a funeral, you can't have stuff feeding back, and you never know what people gonna do during a funeral, and people be passing the mic, and then oh, I remember her when I was 13, and she was the Aunt Cora of the, and then oh, y'all don't. That's my sister, and y'all don't know my sister. She made the best greens in the world. My mama is the best mama ever, and just microphones all over the place, people talking at different levels, somebody gonna bust out a song. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's gonna happen during a funeral. So you need somebody there who knows what they're doing. And I don't want nobody's funeral to be jacked up because I was at Eli's barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Priorities. Priorities. The barbecue was good. Like, the funeral was jacked up. The barbecue was good. No, I don't want to see that happen. So yeah. Rick says, couldn't August 1st, but can August 8th. All right. Um, Lincoln says, you cause problems on purpose. Okay. Lincoln seeing, I think now that problems happen. And, you need somebody there to fix them. Thank goodness Chad is there and Terrence is there and Raven is there. Believe it or not, all of whom I trained. All of whom I trained. I mean, just thinking back, yeah, I trained Chad. I remember the day Chad started. And so I trained Chad, and, I always teach him problem solving and all of that kind of stuff. So I trained Terrence. I remember when he started. And of course, I trained Raven. I remember when she started. I did less technical training of Raven, less technical training because I was doing too much when she came in. So, she didn't get the full effect of my training. But yeah, he see bad stuff. Problems happen. Problems happen, and it's good to have somebody there who can figure out what the problem is. Or the classic where the lady gets up and you try to pass her the mic, but she says that she don't need no mic because she's a loud talker. Oh yeah, you always get that. You always get that. And a number of the funerals lately, they've been live streaming the funerals. A lot of them, they've been live streaming the funerals, which adds a new twist to everything. But, different people from out of town, their loved one passes, they can't make it there, but they'll watch the funeral. So, yeah, yeah. And that's why when they told me and asked me about that, I said, yes, I will be at the funeral just because I don't want to jack nobody's funeral up. Are you using OBS Studios? No, I am not. I do not use OBS Studios. I have used it. I'm not against it, but no, I'm not using OBS. Lincoln misses you. I never thought I'd say it, but I miss Lincoln too. Look, I don't necessarily miss getting up and going in. I don't necessarily, miss a lot of stuff, but I enjoyed. It is who I am. I love behind the scenes stuff. I love behind the scenes stuff. So I thoroughly enjoyed, for the most part, answering the phones and screening calls until the people complained too much and then they didn't want calls screened, which was always the stupidest decision, if you ask me. The stupidest decision. No real talk show. Let me take that back. There are some, but most real talk shows and successful talk shows, you screen calls. Not screen them, you can't get on, but screen them, what are you talking about? Because it allows the host to know who's on the line, what topic they're talking about, and what position they're taking. So if everybody's like, yeah, that cop was justified. Yeah, that cop was justified. Yeah, that cop was justified. you kind of want to, for the sake of conversation. Yeah, that cop was justified. No, that cop wasn't justified. No, the cop was justified. No, that cop wasn't justified. You know what I'm saying? You want to mix it up. But if everybody is, yeah, 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 what are we listening to now? And so you should know what's the point that you want to make? What's the point that you want to make? And then that allows the host to dictate his show and how he wants the show to go. Well, the cop wasn't justified, but I understand the human part of it. You know what I'm saying? You can weave that in when you're ready. But if it's just names on the screen, but eventually it just became names on the screen. But I enjoyed the call screening process. I don't miss getting cussed at because of screening calls and reported to HR. But I miss that. I miss, doing all of the blocking sound. You know what I'm saying? I miss the blocking sound. I miss the bell. I miss, all the little stuff. YMCA every time Marcus decides to bring up homosexuality. Or I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. You know what I'm saying? I miss all of that little stuff behind the scenes. And I miss all of the people there. I miss all of the people there. I miss most of the people there. Retract that. I miss most of the people there. I miss Lincoln. Oh, yeah, definitely the crybaby sound. I miss the crying baby sound. I miss the people, laughing with the people, learning from the people, teaching the people, the camaraderie. I miss all of that. I miss all of that. So yeah. I miss Lincoln too. Me and Lincoln, we got into it a lot. But I would say we spent 90% of our time laughing. Or maybe 90% more time laughing than we did arguing. Because that dude is hilarious. And especially when Terrence was there. I mean, he's back now, but he came back after I left. So we missed each other. But yeah, especially when Terrence is there. All of that. I miss that. Not necessarily some other stuff. Black Lion said, I know you passed it, but I still miss you being on the buzz. I don't miss being on air on the buzz. I don't miss being on air on the buzz. Jerica, he do for real. Lincoln ain't gonna say it though. Yes, he does, but Lincoln's way of showing that he misses E-Man is to complain incessantly. Andrew says the crying baby sound, yes. They miss you too, son. Nat misses the effects. Ben says, I think you got out of there before Lincoln put hands on you. I don't think Lincoln was going to put hands on me at the point that I left. I think by the time I left, Lincoln had realized that, I wasn't a bad dude. Probably a year or two before that, yeah, he wanted to put hands on me. No doubt about it. I told y'all, he told me. He thought he was going to retire. And he told me, I want to say it was probably about 6 months before he thought he was going to retire. And he told me, and he whispered it, before he leave, he going to punch me in the mouth. His lips wasn't moving when he was whispering, before I leave, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. I was like, he really mean that shit. His lips ain't even moving. You got everybody a job but yourself. I'm cool though. I don't understand all of y'all, well, the few of y'all who is so concerned about me having a job. I said this, my wife, Mrs. Livingston, she is not worried about me not having a job. She's not worried about it because she see me work every day. And again, I still pay all our bills. I've never asked that woman, not one time. I have to think about that. Yeah, not even one time have I ever asked that woman to pay a bill? Not once. Can you give me a little something on the electric bill? Can you give me a little something on the? No, I've never, not one time, even to right now, even though she told me, and she meant it, I got you. She said, I got you. She said, you held me down. You held me down when I went back to school. You held me down. You paid all my fees. When I first started my business and got my license, you held me down. She said, you held me down when I wasn't making no money and out there working every day. You held me down. She said, I got you. Don't you worry about it. And that was when I knew I could leave. And she was like, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to pay? Do you need me to pay everything? Do you need me to pay anything? And I told her, I don't need you to pay nothing. I got this. She was like, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. And we go places, and she'd be like, you don't want me to pick up no, I got it. If I ever need you to do anything financially, I'll tell you. Trust me. You ain't going to look up any electricity going to be off. And I'm going to be like, well, if you would have paid the bill, I didn't have no money. That ain't ever going to happen. If I ever need you to pay anything, trust me, I'll let you know. But to this day, I've never asked her to pay a single bill in this house. Not one. So she ain't worried about me not having a job. Not once have I ever asked her. So she ain't worried about it. Why y'all grown ass men worried about my employment status? That's what I don't get. And she get the wood. You know what I'm saying? She got to live with me and she get the wood. Why y'all worried about it? Y'all don't live with me and y'all sure ain't getting. Y'all want the wood? Y'all not getting it. No, I don't swing like that. Every time one of these men, why won't you get a job? I'll be thinking, why are you worried so much about it? Ain't you got a woman? Worry about your woman. Are you worried about me? I'm just telling you. I'm just for real. Now my daughter goes to school, so she bring the little baby over. And not that Mrs. Livingston minds at all, because she spends a whole lot of time with the little baby. But I don't even ask her to handle the little baby. It's not her biological, even though she doesn't make a distinction. But it's not her biological granddaughter. Now, if she heard me say that, she'd be like, well, why would you even bring that up? That's my granddaughter. But I'm just saying, it's not. I hope my daughter needs something. My daughter called me and say, Daddy, I need. My daughter has never called me and said, I need, when she actually needed. Never called me and said, I need, and I didn't have to give to her, even to this day. My daughter keep offering to pay me for babysitting. Like, I'm not babysitting. I'm spending time with my granddaughter. She's like, but if I was taking her to a daycare or something like that, I would have to pay them. I said, because that's not their granddaughter. This is my granddaughter. Oh, but you're not working no more. And so, what that got to do with my granddaughter? What that got to do with you? Because that's just how I believe. So trust me, y'all, from a financial standpoint, right now, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to get a traditional job right now. Plus, I'm working on some other things. I really am trying to get the screen printing thing kind of off the ground. I kind of retired from the sound stuff. I haven't done a sound gig in a long time. And I kind of don't miss it. I don't miss that. Just because lugging all of that equipment, setting everything up, doing sound checks, getting everything together, Making sure everybody got what they need, running the sound during the show, dealing with whatever else is happening. When we take a break, then they need to do this and we need to play this and then when everything is over, breaking everything down, loading it back up, taking it home, unloading it in the house, storing it, and then do the same thing again, the next night. I'm 51 years old. Oh, that just started to wear on my body. It started to wear on my body. So, yeah, when coronavirus happened and all of the gigs kind of stopped, I was like, okay, this is nice for about a week or two. And then I was like, I like this for about a few months. And then I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I don't want to be out there hauling gear and doing all of that kind of stuff. So I don't do that anymore. I mean, I would do it in a pinch for, you know, I might would do it in a pinch, but it's not something that I want to be doing twice a week anymore. But I have other streams of income. So trust me, I appreciate the people who are genuinely concerned. But most of the time when people say it, I done said something that they didn't like or they didn't agree with. And that's kind of their way of trying to take a dig at me. Won't you get a job? Why are you worried about it? Why are you worried about it? They ain't really worried about it. They just think, I got him with that, but you didn't. Jason talk about, I know you're rich. Not rich. Not rich. But I'm happy. But I'm happy. Not rich, but I'm happy. It's funny. I was just telling somebody. Like, look, I'm not rich, but I'm the happiest person. I know I was just telling y'all that, but I was telling somebody that because we were talking finances. And they were, kind of sharing with me some things about, how to increase finances and investing and all of that kind of stuff. And I was sharing with them, that's all good. And I'll listen to them and take their advice. But I'm happy. So, Emanuel, you have a wonderful wife. Wish my brother's wife was like yours. um, I don't know, E. You have had red lips before, bro. That was a slight issue with the way that I had done the camera. I'm gonna try to do not the red lips thing. I'm gonna try to. I don't know. I kind of like the way this camera looks. I kind of like the way this camera looks in the setting, so I'm gonna leave it like that. But I was trying to make the color a little more vibrant. You're talking the way that everyone should feel about their mate and children. But I must ask, are you a magician pulling that money out the hat? Not a magician, not pulling money out the hat. Again, I work. I do little freelance stuff here and there. I have, some skills that are marketable. So I do some freelance stuff. It's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot of money. But again, like I said, my house is paid for. My cars are paid for. So my bills are, just your regular bills, the gas and electric, the water, insurance, different stuff like that. And I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, but if I had a mortgage and 2 car payments, I would probably be vaccinated. All right, go ahead. I would probably be vaccinated because I wouldn't have been able to have the freedom to say, no, I don't want to get that vaccine. I would have had to say, look, bills got to be paid. I got to keep a job. But because other things are taken care of, I don't have to worry about that. And then that frees up her money. So like when we go on trips, like when we used to cruise, we haven't cruised, of course, since coronavirus. But she's talking about going to London now. She wants to go to London. So she's talking about going to London and somewhere else that she was talking about. That's where her money comes in. Because again, she don't spend her money on anything. She just stack her money. She just stack her money. So when we want to do something, large expense type stuff, she just pay for it. She said, I got it. We going to London. And I say, when we going to London? And what you need from me. That's it. Like I said, with the phone, y'all didn't see, but I got a new phone, which says I got a new software update that's got to be installed. I got a new phone, iPhone 13. She just got tired of me because my old phone, I put the charger in and it'll be charging, but every time you move it, the charger wouldn't be charging. So it's and so she was like, I'm tired of that. Your phone be dying just for no reason. It'd be over there charging, not charging, charging, not charging, charging, not charging. We're going to get you a new phone. Let's go. And she paid for the phone. She got tired of it. But that's what I'm saying. So, she got, her money, even though, I don't think of it like that. Like we don't think of this is your money and this is my money. That's not the way we think of it. But I'm saying, for the purpose of what I'm saying, uh, she got money. She make money. She make money. And actually a couple of different fields. She make money. So she got her money. And like I said, I don't ask her for any money. So when we go to London, when we went to Phoenix, when we go and take trips and cruises and all of that kind of stuff, that's what her money is, our discretionary income. And discretionary income does not include food and, different household needs. That's all me. But discretionary income, you want to go to London, all right. You paying for the trip to London. That kind of stuff. So yeah. I'm good. But the men who are so concerned about my job and my lips, I don't understand y'all. I don't understand y'all. But I mean, it is what it is. People gonna say what they gonna say. We went to the Caribbean, and although my cousin is vaccinated, she didn't have her mask or a picture of her vaccination card. We couldn't eat inside a restaurant. Yeah, but we haven't gone anywhere because neither of us are vaccinated. Like I don't believe in it. She don't believe in it. And so neither of us are vaccinated. Neither one of us trust it yet, I guess I should say. We don't trust it yet. So we haven't been out of the US since that happened. We'll see what happens. Like I said, she want to go to London, so we'll see, if they lift these restrictions. But how y'all feel about mandatory monkeypox vaccinations? How y'all feel about that? Would y'all be down with that? Mandatory monkeypox vaccinations? It might happen. They tell me monkeypox is spreading. And y'all went for mandatory COVID vaccinations. So I was trying to tell y'all, once they set a precedent, I wouldn't be shocked if you look up and they're saying mandatory monkeypox vaccinations. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. Hell no. Is monkeypox deadly? My understanding is it is. Nah, they said it's spread by gay man sex, so I'm okay. I hadn't seen that. The only person I heard say that was Marcus. I seen pictures of monkeypox. It looked trifling. Jason learned his lesson. What lesson did you learn? No gay man sex. They need to change the name of monkeypox. I deal with the public, a lot of close contact, not against it. All right. But not, I mean, mandatory for everybody, not just for you. Uh, Jason says 99% spread that way. Nat says COVID is an endemic now. It's here to stay like the flu. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Uh, Monkeypox has a current fatality rate of between 3 to 6%. I don't know, I'm looking up. And so monkeypox fatality rate is 3 to 6%. According to Johns Hopkins, Johns Hopkins University. Oh, and then it just jumped. It just jumped. I don't understand that. It's giving me rows of stuff. But looks like 2 to 5%. 2 to 5% mortality rate for coronavirus, 3 to 6% mortality rate for monkeypox. So there you go. So there you go. E-Man, plan on meeting me Monday. The pleasure will be yours. Fame, you might not have heard the announcement. It's not this Monday. We will not be at Eli's this Monday for two reasons. Number one, it's supposed to rain. Number two, I have a funeral to go to. So we're pushing it to next Monday. Next Monday. All right. And sure, the pleasure will be all mine to meet you. Absolutely. It's not really pleasurable meeting me. Andrea says it's spread by skin to skin contact with an affected person, so a bit harder to catch than COVID, which I believe was more airborne. But it's more deadly. It's more deadly. The city of Cincinnati, or Cincinnati, sorry, need to be extra careful since you may still have those 5 foot tall monkeys walking around. Whatever happened to those monkeys? Uh, Hold on, let me see. Because I hear a lot of misinformation about a lot of stuff. How is monkeypox transmitted? Um, uh, Anyone can get monkeypox. It is not a gay disease. The virus is spread through close personal, often skin to skin contact that causes a rash and open sores or pox on the body, including on or near the genitals or anus, but not necessarily on the genitals or anus. So it is spread through close personal contact, often skin to skin. Touching, you can get it from touching. And again, I don't know this. This is a website called greaterthan.org. You can get it through personal contact, touching, kissing. You can get it during sex. It can also be spread through towels, sheets, and other items that come in contact with open source. So you don't even actually have to touch the person with it. You can just touch something that they've touched, according to that particular site. According to that particular site. Let's see. 2 kids got it too, but they got it from men who have sex with men. It's women on TikTok showing symptoms also. Because you just get it through touch, according to the information that I just read. So it doesn't have to be sex or gay sex. It can be you laid on the sheet that the person had it and they had an open sore, and you laid on that sheet and you touched that spot, and you can get it according to that site. Again, I can't verify this. I just looked it up on a site. A lot of countries have been ditching vaccine and quarantine requirements for entry. This person say anything I say you can research. I'm telling you what Good Morning America said this morning. Okay. Did you say anus? Did you hear that, Marcus? McConnell says, wow. Folks may want to start bringing their own sheets and towels when they stay at hotels. 2 children were reported having monkeypox. Jason says, yeah, gay sex. 99% of reported transmissions are gay sex. I don't know that to be true. That anytime people say 99% is that, I usually think it's probably not 99%. It's probably not 99%. It's gay sex. Only confirmed 2 cases in America. So stay off gay men's beds. We're talking about monkeypox, and they are saying that it is only gay people getting it, but that's not true. You calling CDC fake news? First, I didn't see that in the CDC, but secondly, possibly, look, the CDC spread some false information during the coronavirus. They spread some false information during the coronavirus. So, look, y'all can believe the CDC like they're God. I don't. I trust them to an extent, but I still question the stuff that they put out there. And if somebody from the CDC is saying 99% of all cases, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? It'd be pretty hard to get a straight 99% of anything. But Jericho says, we have monkeypox cases in Charlotte. Not according to Jason. Jason says there's only 2 confirmed cases in America. According to NBC News, 19 monkeypox cases identified in the U.S. So NBC News, and this is according to NBC News, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They're saying the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed 19 cases of monkeypox across 10 U.S. states, and that was in May of this year. That was May of this year. the CDC said that there were 19 cases in May. So, Jason? Oh, Jason says fake news. That's fake news. It was on NBC and the CDC. Now they lie. Now you don't believe the CDC. They said in May it was 19 cases. You saying it's only been 2. You saying it's only been 2. And now they're fake news. Isn't there like 20 cases in New York City? Jason, fake news. Fake news, right, Jason? That's why, again, I didn't say that this was the case, or I didn't say that that was the case. I don't know. And I question everything. I question all of these sources. But anytime somebody, 99% of it, that's what people say when they really just want to say the majority. When they really just want to say, oh, the majority of people, so and so and so. Well, 99% of the time, there's a 9 out of 10 is a, that means they don't actually have the information. And they're making up a statistic to validate the point that they're trying to make. Most times, that's what I find to be the case. Didi says there are now 2,000 lab-confirmed cases of monkeypox in the United States, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Jason, fake news. They must be a different Center for Disease Control that they're getting their information from than yours. Which Center for Disease Control, Jason, are you getting your information from? I'm just curious. Didi says 23 hours ago, the U.S. has reported 3,846 total confirmed or suspected monkeypox cases as of July 25th. Jason, what you say to that? Fake news. He's not typing fake news every time. I'm just going back to the thing that says fake news because that's the last thing that he typed. He believes the Center for Disease Control as long as they believe what he says. Oh, he's calling in. All right. Jason.
Stop doing me like that. I got some bad info. I admit it. I concede. But stop putting up that fake news.
I did tell him you wasn't actually typing that. I just was putting it up.
I just was making sure. And I wanted to call today. I didn't have my headset, so I don't know if you had any callers today. So I hope I'm not the first.
You're not the first. But why wouldn't you want to be the first?
Because I mean, it's past 3 o'clock. You're not supposed to be here.
It would be an honor to be my first. Trust me.
No homo. Now we don't fuck around, get monkeypox, and then be lying about it. Like it's not just gay sex.
But look, the site that I went to, which granted is not the Center for Disease Control, it was some nonprofit site that they're trying to give out accurate information about monkeypox. Look, if you can get it just by touching the skin and hitting one of them open sores, which is what they say. If you can get it by using a towel that somebody who had monkeypox used, if you can get it by laying on a sheet that somebody who had monkeypox laid on and it, an open sore was, then I don't know that you can say, well, you can only get it from gay sex.
I can't comment. I apparently I got bad information, so I'm not going to continue to spread false information because I don't want Facebook to figure out who I really am and be like, yeah, we knew you been acting up and give me another 30-day ban.
Well, we don't want that to happen either.
I'm going to concede and agree with you.
All
but
right.
before I go, what happened to Kaepernick? If his trial was so good, where that man at?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't look. I told you what the report said. I told you what the report said. Um, Now, is it possible that he was good and they decided we still not giving him a shot? Sure, that's possible.
It's also possible Warren Sapp was telling the truth.
It's possible, but my question is, if he was so bad, like Warren Sapp said, why is Warren Sapp the only person who said it?
Because the NFL then already got burned by that man and had to pay him all the millions of dollars. They
But
don't want to say, excuse me,
But
they
wouldn't
don't want to say
somebody
nothing else.
like whoever told Warren Sapp that it was so bad that I doubt that he would have been the only person that they told. So wouldn't they have told somebody else? And you know, it's plenty of Colin Kaepernick haters that would be out there like he was horrible.
They don't want to get in a scuffle again. They lost 2 times with him. They don't want the third L. I mean, I don't too much care for him because he was, to me, he was a one and done bum. Because if I remember correctly, the Ravens wiped the floor with him, and I was cheering the whole time because, you know, Bird gang. But I was cheering the whole time, and then Roger Goodell went and turned out the lights in the stadium so they could make a comeback, and he still blew it. Because them lights didn't just go out by themselves. They told the Ravens, look here, stop blowing these. And the Ravens came out and scored a touchdown on the kickoff, and they cut the lights off. Like, nah, we said stop.
Oh, that was what happened.
That's how I remember it.
Look, let me tell you
looking to be a blowout.
I'll be honest about the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. I'm not like a big mark for Colin Kaepernick. I'm not saying he was the best quarterback ever or anything, but he was decent. I mean, you can't argue that the guy wasn't good. All right, he wasn't amazing. You can argue that, but the guy was good. And there are some people in the league who got backup jobs, who are probably not as good as Colin Kaepernick still is. And the only reason,
got like 4 of them on Carolina.
And so the only reason that he would not have a job would be what? I mean, not as a starter, just as a backup. What would be the only reason that he's not been given a backup position?
There's some hate there. Maybe people just don't want to deal with him. Maybe he asking for too much money. But, I mean, you know, there's about 4 teams right now. They really need some help at quarterback. But I don't know if he's the answer. That's the other part of it, too. I mean, you might be a decent quarterback, but you're not a fit here. And we're not going to change our whole offense to fit you.
Okay.
But that's all I really wanted to say today. Stop putting up that fake news, please.
Jason, I appreciate your call.
All right, thanks.
All right. He was not typing fake news after all of that. I was putting it up because that was what he said. Well, and it entertained me. That's it. Technically, you aren't supposed to be here. I think he meant it's after 3:00, and you know, I said I'm here with you till 3:00. So from that perspective, he's right. Technically, I'm not supposed to be here, so I do need to get out of here. I don't know why people hating on Kaepernick. I don't know why. The NFL has the most racism out of all the American team sports. Any stories about QBs and head coaches should be met by skepticism by black folk. I agree. And I'm still not watching it yet. Now, again, there was a caveat in there. And the caveat was if they would have let Byron Allen and his group buy the Denver Broncos, then I would have gone back to watching and supporting the NFL. But they didn't do that. I understand why. You know, George Lucas's people, well, that wasn't George Lucas. It was his wife, and she's her own woman, and then she was just a minority shareholder, and blah, blah, blah. If George Lucas's people offered, you know, $1 billion more than everybody else offered, that makes sense. But hey, that was where I was at with it. So until Kaepernick get a gig or something else, kind of some landmark something happens that shows me that they're moving in the right direction, won't be watching. Won't be watching. I ain't hurt nobody but me. I know they don't feel my eyes not there. They don't feel it. I know. I know. But it's how I feel. Where's the little baby? She with her family. She had people coming in from out of town to spend time with her. So she didn't come over today. No disrespect, but are we really concerned right now at this moment with Kaepernick? He brought it up, Janice. I just had to discuss it because he brought it up. That was it. I just discussed it because he brought it up. All right, I gotta get ready to get out here, get my weekend started. Even though my weekend will probably be spent all in that backyard, I pick up my bucket lift tomorrow, and gets me 35 feet in the air, and I will cut down everything that's hanging over my yard. So there is going to be some bare trees. I got my chipper, which I gotta get it out and make sure that it's working and everything. Make sure the oil and all that kind of stuff is good. But yeah, I'll be doing all of that, and then it might take me a little time to clean up all the brush. But next week that job will be totally done. Totally done. I'm actually looking forward to getting up on the lift. I'm looking forward to it. I like stuff like that. I like stuff like that. $275 or something like that to rent the lift, as opposed to 28 plus another 700 for the other tree that just snapped back there. $3,500 to have somebody come in and clear out what's already fell, and then that wasn't even including trimming all the other trees. Yeah, I'll take my chances up on the lift with my chainsaws. Go Facebook Live when you get on the lift. I might be able to do that now that I got this new phone. Now that I got this new phone. Jason talk about wear your harness. I ain't wearing no harness. Harness is just for sissies. No, I'm just playing. It's not for sissies. But I probably won't wear a harness. Dang, bro, you got a chipper. I got this chipper from Harbor Freight probably about 5 years ago. It was on sale, and I bought it, so now I have it, and that's that. So I use it, periodically when I'm cutting down branches and stuff. Branches that I can reach, I try to trim those back, but these branches are way up there, and I couldn't trim those back without a lift. So now I got the lift. I can get up there and get it all done. Have a great weekend. Wyatt says, don't forget to let everybody know about Monday's change. I did, but I'll remind them right before I go. We will not be at Eli's Barbecue this Monday. We're pushing it back to next Monday, the 8th. Pushing it back. Weather concerns on my behalf. And I got a funeral. I don't want to jack up nobody's funeral for Eli's Barbecue. No shade to Eli's Barbecue, but you know. Oh, that funeral the sound was horrible. That barbecue was good. Nah, no, I don't. That would be terrible. Only rich people have chippers, or poor people who get a good deal. Look, I can find a good deal. Brent says, I scooped up an 8-gallon hard, wet, dry, I'm going to guess you say vac, from Walmart for $30. Even wind up scooping 2 more for my son and a friend. Oh, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Poor people and mass murderers. And people who have a lot of trees overhanging in their backyard who know they're going to have to get rid of it. McConnell says, I have to weld things while on a lift. Be careful. It can throw you out if you move too fast. So some kind of harness would be good. All right. I will keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind. I'll probably just try to move it really slow. But I don't have a harness. Maybe I'll go and see if I can find a harness and how much a harness costs. If I pay an extra $100 for a harness, that's not happening. But if I can get a harness for a decent price, I might roll with it. I don't want to fall 35 feet, so it might not be a bad idea. But there is a part of me that's like, a harness. Harnesses is for bitches. I ain't no bitch. I ain't got to wear no harness. I know that's not true. It's foolish. It's foolish. But there's a little part of me, and it's on this side, like right there. Like, harnesses is for bitches. So I don't know. I don't know. Uh, your life is not worth $100. Yeah, it's worth $100. I just don't know that I want to spend $100. I'm a very careful person. I'm very careful. Accidents happen to people who ain't being careful enough. I'm very careful. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm not anti-harness. We'll see what happens. Look, I sometimes don't, most times don't even wear my seatbelt in the car. Sometimes I don't even wear my seatbelt in the car. The little baby be like, grandfather, put on your seatbelt. I'll be like, shut up, little baby. The guy who cut down trees in my other house did not wear a harness. He said the same thing. That's right. Harnesses is for bitches. But no, I'll see what I can do. Because again, while I got it out there, I'm also get up. There's a gutter that I need to fix. Uh, the last people who came and cut down trees, they weren't good, and one of the trees fell and knocked off a piece of the gutter. And I've been trying to get up there and fix it. But now that I got the lift, I'll definitely fix that as well. Clean out the gutters, all of that good stuff. Um, you don't want to be on live and we see your short ass flying off the lift across the yard. That would be terrible. Stop scarring little baby with your old man ways. She love it. That little baby love it when I tell her stuff like she a hater and shut up and stuff like that. She love it because that give her an opportunity to get back at me. They give her an opportunity to get back at me. When I tell her I'm a socker, oh, she love that. She love that. Because I do tell her that. You tell me put my seatbelt on one more time, and I'm going to sock you. She love that. She just cracks up. She just cracks up. And every once in a while, I sock her. Just so it's not an empty threat. Every once in a while, I sock her. Of course, I don't sock her hard. I sock her just enough so that she can say I socked her. We were somewhere, not yesterday, day before yesterday, and we were talking about something, and I don't remember what it was. I told her something, and somebody was there. She don't really talk to people. Like if you walk up to her, she's with me, and you're like, "Hi, hi," and she just kind of look down. She might look at you and just look at you, but she don't talk to people. She does not talk to people. I don't know why, but she doesn't. Uh, but we were somewhere, and I was telling her to do something. I think she was jumping on a chair or something. She was doing something she had no business doing, and I told her stop. I don't know that she heard me. I don't know that she heard me, and I told her again stop. And what I did in order to get her attention, I snapped, and she got down and she came over and she stood next to me, and and the person said something like, Oh, she listens really well or something like that. And she was like, if I didn't stop, he was going to sock me. Oh, I just laughed. I laughed and laughed and laughed. Oh, and she thought it was funny because, you know, she know I don't really soccer, but she thought that it was funny. So I was entertained. But yeah, every once in a while I soccer, just so she know, it's not an empty threat. I might do it, but I've never socked her hard. And typically when I go to soccer, she tries to sock me back. And then I have to hold her back by the head. And she be trying to punch me. We have fun. We have a ball. Um, you're a horrible grandfather. My daddy never told me to shut up. That's on you. That's on you. Um, you've been watching too much Bernie Mac, his nieces and nephew. Believe it or not, I've only seen like 2 or 3 episodes of the Bernie Mac show. So no. Does she say I'll get my daddy? No, she doesn't. She doesn't. She talked that time. Yeah, I was shocked because again, she normally don't. She normally like we can be talking, and then a stranger come up and she stopped talking. For whatever reason, that time she had to let him know. She had socked me. Oh, I thought it was funny. I laughed. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Again, I won't be on Monday. I won't be on Monday. I believe the King and I will be on Tuesday, same time, and then throughout the week. Someone might have called CFS if they heard her say that. He might sock me. And that's fine. They can call. They can call. I ain't never worried about all that stuff. I'll sock her right in front of them. It won't be hard because I ain't gonna never sock the little baby hard. Y'all have a great weekend. I hope something amazing happens in your life today and this weekend. Other than winning that lottery, that's mine. Okay, if I don't win it, I hope one of y'all win it. All right, that's I can give y'all that. If I don't win it, I hope one of y'all win it. Until next time, it's been the afternoon experiment. I'm Emanuel Livingston. Enjoy your weekend. I'm out, y'all. Peace.